My soul shall be joyful in my God, for he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of victory. As a bridegroom putteth on a priestly diadem, as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. For as the earth bringeth forth her growth, and as the garden causeth the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so the Lord God will cause victory and glory to spring forth before all of the nations. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake will I not rest, until her triumph go forth with brightness, and her salvation as a torch that burneth. And the nations shall see thy triumph, and all the kings thy glory. Thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall mark out. Thou shalt be a crown of beauty in the hand of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the open hand of thy God. Thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land no more be termed desolate. But thou shalt be called, my delight is in her, and thy land espoused. For the Lord delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be espoused. For as a young man espouses a virgin, so shall thy sons espouse thee. And as the bridegroom rejoiceth over the bride, so shall God rejoice over thee. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. They shall never hold in peace, day nor night. Ye that are the Lord's remember, ye that are the Lord's remembrances, take ye no rest, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. The Lord hath sworn by his right hand, and by the arm of his strength. Surely I will no more give thy corn to be food for thine enemies. And strangers shall not drink thy wine, for which thou hast labored. But they have guarded it, but they that have guarded it shall eat it, and praise the Lord. And they have gathered it, and they that have gathered it shall drink in the courts of my sanctuary. Go through the gates, clear ye all the way the people. Cast up the holler, gather up the stones, lift up an ensign over the peoples. Behold, the Lord hath proclaimed unto the end of the earth. Say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and with recompense before him. And they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of the Lord. And thou shalt be called, so thou, a city not forsaken. Who is this that cometh from Edom, who crimson garments from Bozrah, stately in the greatness of his strength? I that speak victory, mighty to save. Wherefore is thine apparel red, and thy garments like kids that treadeth in a wine vat? I have trod in a winepress alone. In the people there was no man with me. Yea, I trod them in mine anger, and trampled them in my fury. And their lifeblood is dashed against my garments, and I have stained all my raiment. For the day of vengeance that was in my heart, and my heart of redemption are come. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I beheld in astonishment, and there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I trod down the peoples in my anger, and I made them drunk with my fury, and poured out their lifeblood on the earth. I will make mention of the mercies of the Lord and the praises of the Lord, according to all that the Lord hath bestowed upon us, and all the great goodness toward the house of Israel, which he hath bestowed on them according to his compassions, and according to the multitude of his mercies. For he said, surely they are my people, children that will not deal falsely. So he was their Savior. In all their affliction he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved him. In his love and in his pity he redeemed them. He bore them and carried them all the days of old. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Right. So as we look at this chapter here, and we go over this chapter about Isaiah the prophet. And we know that at this time he's prophesying to the nation. And a lot of the prophecies, we know when we go over and we read it, that we're not doing right as a people. So once again, this is another time when, as Israel, we're about to be, taken into captive again. You know what I mean? The great city, Jerusalem, which the Most High is going to allow to be taken away, as we read through all our other prophets. The thing about this also, it shows the restoration of the temple and the restoration of the nation. And this is what we need to understand and know, that as it said here, that the Most High is our salvation. We have to look into that, because a lot of times in the nations that we are brought up in now, they look to other things other than the Most High to give their credence to give their thanks and their praise to, who they say they get their salvation to. So here through the prophet, we see we can see the like the anger that's kindled against us for choosing the same thing. Because when we look back into the Torah portion, Nitzavim in Deuteronomy, we're about to also go into our land. And we're getting the instructions from our father Moshe, the great teacher. Instructions of what not to do. We just came out of previous chapters where it gave us the gifts, the curses and the blessings. The blessings and the curses. And we were told to take hold to the blessings. And that's where the word Nitzavim, where it says stand, because Torah was given, it says to those who were there, it says you all stand before. Those who were there at the time and those who were not there, meaning us, here today. And this is why even us in our lives, when we go against Torah, we find ourselves going through life situations. As the brother James was saying when we was talking, a lot of things, for the most simplest thing of Torah, or throughout Torah and reading in the Tanakh, it'll always tell you to go what? Back to the law. Do the law. And that's where we seem to go off when we don't do the law. And this is when our covenant was made, is reestablished. And that's what also we need to know, because a lot of times people want to take this part of the book and use it to mean something else more than what is basically being said. And we know that the Most High doesn't deal, the Most High is not going to tell us something's going to happen and not going to give us the, you know what I'm saying, the program. He always wants to keep us in the loop, shall they say. So what we need to understand is that the nations here, they want us, as I said, let us write Israel's name out of the books from under heaven. This is what they want. So of course they want to take the plight of a whole nation and base it into one person. Okay? But in the end, already it told us right there, it said, I am your salvation. And it says, and I'm going to bring back the redeemed. Who's the redeemer? There's only one who is the redeemer. And the redeemer is going to be us, his people. Us, his people, and those who say, as it is said, look, let us go up to the mountain. We're the ones that's supposed to be leading the way and doing the Torah so that people can have someone to look to. Okay, that's what's going to attract the other people in the world too. But the Most High is going to give everybody a chance. He's a salvation for the world. But through us, they'll be able to see, like they say today, live interaction of the Torah. Torah in the flesh. Torah, right before your eyes. And that's us doing it. And that's very important because us in Jerusalem, we're like the landlords. We are the landlords. And that's what's going to make Jerusalem a place where the people say they want to be, they want to come to, as we read here in the hot Torah portion. We're talking about the land. And it's talking about how the men are going to want to go to the land like they pick virgins, like they pick their wives. That's how committed they are. Right? It says in the beginning, when a man marries a woman, he leaves his house, his mother's house, his father's house, he cleaves to his wife, right? So that's how we will be with the land. We're going to cleave to the land. All we want to do on our minds, hearts, every day we wake up is till the land. Do we have to do agriculture for our people, for the Most High, for the blessings, right? When Cain and Abel had to bring forth their blessings at the time, we see how one with dedication and one who may not have so much dedication. Okay, so we know that just tilling the land and bringing forth your offerings to the Creator means a lot about how you go about it. So the energy that you put in. So this is what it's saying. When the Most High restores the nation, restores Jerusalem, restores the temple, this is how we will be as a people. And this is what we need to not forget. It says that we will return to the Most High, then He will return to us. There are conditions in us being the great people that we are. That's why I always said, in our righteousness. In our righteousness, we activate all the blessings that the Most High has ready to bestow upon us. In our righteousness. And then what? And when we're in our folly, we see all of the curses that was listed in Deuteronomy.
Facts.
And this is our Father Moshe, like his last, you know what I'm saying? You know, like I say, like your last will and testament type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like before us, for the people. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You study right before the test. You studied all week, and now the test coming, you're going to study one more time right before. So we as a people are getting ready to go into the land. So Father Moshe here is calling to our attention. All you who stand here today, you have witnessed all that the Most High have done. He has made a covenant with you for us to be His people, with us, for us to be His people. He led us through the wilderness. He fed us. We were fed by the hand of God.
Angel food.
Angel food. He bestowed upon us His servant, our Father, Master Teacher, Father Adon Moshe, okay, who led us with the Spirit of the Most High Yah upon Him, to the point where the Most High said, "Why are you looking at me?" When we was on the brink of what we thought of destruction. It wasn't our time as a people to be taken over and for destruction. It was our time to bear witness that the Most High is will, the Most High is real, and bear witness that the promise that He made with our father Abraham, He is still keeping. And that's what the part of us coming out of Egypt, going through the wilderness and going to our own land was. But there was a condition with that, us going into the land.
Big if.
And one of them was not running after other gods. That's the big one. That's the main one.
Doing like the other nations do.
That's right. And then also how we treat each other.
Doing like unto other, like we do like ourselves. Doing like, love one another. Like you're serving out of God and things like that. We both be doing that. But they soothsayers and all that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
We was given all of the instructions, like
You know what I'm saying? Okay, now that you got this, you got to deal with this, dealing with the dead and all that stuff like that. These things the people were doing, because millions of brothers were saying that he's God that put you onto it. He said, you want to do like I say do. Say, I put you amongst a nation that don't know nothing about you.
that's right.
You know?
And that's also brought out, we're going to go over it again, but that's brought out too in this chapter of the Haftorah, because it's talking about how the people see me. And they're trying to say about, we're going to get into that. But the point I'm trying to make is that we are the people that say that it's the safety. We are here in the land of captivity. And when we are restored, first in our minds, when we restore that, we are here to serve the true and living God, the Most High Yah, He who spoke and the word came into being. Okay? When we activate that in our people, in ourselves as a people, then we can activate the Most High returning unto us. And then we can activate us returning home. And then in that, as it was said, right? There will be no war, right? Then say a little.
But also, they said something about acceptance. You gotta accept this punishment.
Accept this punishment?
Yeah.
Well, we know that it tells us we have to pray for the sins of our fathers. Okay, and it says we've done worse than them. So even us here, we can't sit and think that we're just here for no reason. Except, as they say, like accepting, that's the first part of recovery, right?
Exactly. You gotta accept
And
it.
a lot of times, us individually, what we go through in our lives is us having to come to that acceptance that the Torah is real.
Yes.
I am of what this Torah, this book here is speaking about.
Mhm.
I may have made some mistakes. I have made, you know what I'm saying, these things. And in my heart, I felt things wasn't right. I may not have known the truth. I may not have known the name of the Most High Yah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, there's a lot of bad information out there. You have a lot of people that are zealous at heart, but you can't tell them nothing, and they don't want to learn anything. And they think because they go get 100 books and be off to themselves reading that they know everything. And that's not the case. It's about interaction. The Most High is always talking about the people. And the end of what the brother read, he said, let me go back to it. 63%, right?
3, 9, something.
9.
63, man. I don't remember the line, but it was talking about Israel.
You see, in all their affliction, and he was afflicted. You see, in the angel of his presence, saved him in his love and in his pity, and he redeemed them. And
Right. Go ahead, read that, Cat. That's the part I'm talking about.
and
He carried them.
he,
Cat, what was the beginning of that you read?
in all the afflictions, he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence, and the Savior, and in his love, and in his pity, he redeemed him, and he bears it and carries it all the days of old. You see, but they prevail and grieve in his Holy Spirit.
That was it.
Yeah, I was there.
Right. The part I wanted to bring out was about him redeeming us as his people.
Oh, that's 62.
53,
Oh, this is
12.
53.
Yeah, there you go. That was at the end. That's the one I was talking about. Okay. Read 62:12 for me.
In the book of Isaiah, chapter 62, verse 12. That's all say, hallelujah.
Start with that.
That's what I like. Behold, the Lord hath proclaimed unto the end of the earth.
Who proclaimed?
The Lord proclaimed unto the end of the earth.
And this with capital letters here, L-O-R-D. So we know that we're talking about the Most High only. Continue, brother.
Say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with her, and his recompense before him. They shall call them the holy people.
Okay, so we're not talking about just one person returning. That's the point that I wanted to bring out. A lot of people try to make this about one person. This is about a people.
Yeah.
This is about a nation. And this is about a people with a land. A people with a journey, and a people that's on the journey for a reason. We are here in captivity for a reason. We're not here to be play. We're here to learn. So when we go home, we can have all of these things that's bestowed upon us. The part we're talking about is being clothed in righteousness in the garments that we wear. All those things, yeah. Let's run through it again.
Nah, it's 62.
Start from 61:10. Yeah, let's for the people.
I will greatly, in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 10. Let us all say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my God, for he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation.
Okay, so again, these are the words that's coming through the prophet, but this is the feeling that we need to have as a people for the Most High Yah. For we are to be restored. And we all saw the glory that the Most High did time and time and time again. All these things that was passed down from the time through the wilderness, time coming out of Egypt, the time we went into the land, even the time when we got kicked out. When we do bad, we know why we're going through stuff. It is us who turn on the Most High Yah.
He don't turn on us.
He didn't turn on us. The Mother says the Most High is like always waiting with his arms stretched out for us to return to him. So and we know it's our sins that cause the Most High to go further and further away from us.
Yeah.
Let's continue on that.
He hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with a robe of victory. As a bridegroom putteth on a priestly diadem. As a bride adorneth herself with jewels. For as the earth bringeth forth her growth, and as a garden causeth the things that are sown in it to spring forth.
Right, this is what we're saying. He clothes us with the salvation. This is the people that have been saved who's going to save. These are the people that have seen the glory of the Most High Yah. Even us in our lives day to day, when we need to get over a certain hurdle, and the Most High comes through for us. This is how we feel. The same way. This isn't just for one person to get. Only one person is going to get the feeling. It's going to be activated on the whole, and we all could attest to the feeling. And the same way why Adon Moshe said, I wish all y'all people were prophets. So they, I wish they all could see what I have seen, feel what I feel, so they know that the Most High Yah is great. And can stop second guessing and running after other things. Because we run after the imagination of our own heart, our own imagination.
That's what it says.
And that's the problem. Nobody can tell them because, I know God, I know you know everything, but then you don't know the Torah. And the Most High said, once he kicked us out the garden, that's the only way back. Right? That's the only way we're going to activate anything with the Most High dealing with us in righteousness. It's through the Torah. Come on, let's go on down some more.
So the Lord will cause victory and glory to spring forth before all the nations.
Before who?
Before all the nations.
So this is going to be something for everybody that's going to see. Everybody's going to witness, witness the reign, the return. The Most High is going to do this on a grand scale. It's not going to be on a small level. All the nations are going to see. The same way all the nations right now sit around about them in the crafty council against Israel. There's no way one nation can be held down by like this. One nation, we know it's not technically the superpower. This is what the Most High is allowing them to be. But everybody right now got their own quote-unquote guns and bombs. Everybody's ready. You know what I'm saying? You got people running planes into buildings, and everybody's ready in their own form. So as they say, pop it off. That's why you know that the Most High rules in the affairs of men. So this is the Most High when he makes the return to bring us home, which is on us. Because when we return to the Most High wholeheartedly, we will activate that. These are the triumphs and the victories that's going to be fought. Us coming home, because we can't do it on our own. Or else we would have been home. We can't fight this quote-unquote war on our own that we see going on every day in our lives, being here in this land. And what they do to our people, even the ones that's in Israel now. And that's what it's talking about. When it restores us to the land, no more they're going to call us as the people forsaken. Everybody look at us round about the world. Everybody got us pegged. Everybody come over here to America and talk about quote-unquote black people and all that, West Indian people, everything, you know what I'm saying? Because they all sit round about and they talk about it. That we the people that's forsaken. No, that is the curse that is on us, put on us by the Most High Yah. Which is why we're here in captivity. So when we activate our righteousness in captivity, then we will feel like we have the garments of salvation on us. It's not one person getting home. One person's not going home. We going home together. But the Most High, when I say together, yes, the Most High is going to choose a remnant. But we don't know what that number is.
We know it's
Okay? Because the Most High said, told Father Abraham, look at the stars. Look at the sand, right? Can you number that?
No,
So we can't number that, so we don't know what a remnant to the Most High Yah is.
Yes, we can, because in the days of Noah, it was only Noah and his sons and their wives that survived out of the whole world. All right, so that's a small remnant.
Well, okay, we could look at it like that. That's where
crazy.
that he used and that's a good point. That's why we do this right here to chime in. Yeah, well, if you look at it like that, that's true too. Because the Most High said, I can make a nation out of you, Moshe.
Moshe.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we could look at it like
But
that.
you never know the number though, because it could be a like, you know, a hot.
It said here they're going to be a people, right? It said a people here. We read it said a holy people. So that's definitely more than one.
Cause you know, we everywhere. We in Germany, we in France, we in
Right.
Russia,
Right.
we in Pakistan, everywhere. So you know, especially Israel now waking up, people are starting to keep the law. You feel me?
Yeah.
At least to the best of their ability. So you know, the Most High see that and tap into their spirit
Right.
and awaken families that you wouldn't even think. You feel me?
Right.
So that's why, like, it's good to, you know, always pray for everybody, not count out people. Because, you know, people
That's right.
Oh, you're not Israel. You don't know who Israel is. Our blood is so mixed up now, you couldn't even tell. You never know who you run into that might be Israel. You know?
Okay.
And that's why the Most High said, bless those that's going to bless you. You feel me? Because you never know who you run into.
Never know. I like that too.
Yeah.
I mean, you cursing people that's going to turn around and be your downfall. Because you curse them, they going to curse you back, and the Most High going to hear it.
Right.
But I understand that you can't number the stars. You can't number the stars because it's like a day that we supposed to leave up out of here. You understand? You can't number that. You see, to know what our days and years, but you can't number that because you don't know when you're going.
Yeah, the secret things belong to the Creator. It said in that in the portion too, right? Yeah. And that's in the portion here, and that's our main stand. The secret things belong to the Creator. You know, and what's given is for us here on earth and for. So and that's Torah, and this is given to us by the Creator. You know, so
That's our book.
you know, this is our DNA, man, all through. Let's read some more. We're gonna go through this here.
For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake will I not rest.
Okay, so this is what again, this is the restoration of the Most High's holy place. You know what I'm saying? We were just the landlords, you know what I'm saying? Just like in Eden, to keep it, to run, you know what I'm saying, to run it. This is what it says where the Most High choose. Okay, so this is how the Most High feels about this place here. Go ahead.
Until her triumph go forth as brightness, and her salvation as a torch that burneth. And the nations shall see thy triumph, and all kings thy glory. And thou shalt be called by a new name.
Yeah, so that's like, you know, you hear when you got the new guys on the block. Everybody start whispering and talking about them like, oh, you see them down there, or they popping down there now. Like, that's how it's going to be. The restoration of the land. The restoration of the temple, the restoration of the people, us as a people. That's how we're going to be seen by the other nations. Everybody's going to want to be part of us and what we're doing. That's how attractive it's going to look. It's going to be. It's going to be so attractive to the world.
What's second? What verse is that? 10? 3.
62:3, bro.
62:3.
Her salvation as a torch that burneth. What a torch do, it brings light to the surrounding area. That's what is going to be seen at this, the Most High's movement. and the restoration. What is it for a king to look and say, oh, wow, look at that. What moves a king? There's not really much that moves a king, right? The king got everything. So for kings to look and be like, wow, what's going on over there? That's big. That shows us that our king is bigger than the kings that's already set up in the nations, in the earth. Because what he's going to do for us is going to grab their attention. Every kingdom wants total domination. That's the whole point of their kingdom, and to protect their people. But our kingdom is going to cause splendor. It's going to be like a torch. It's going to the whole world, to all the nations. The attractiveness of what we do, which is Torah. That's the beginning of what we do in the Torah and how we run our nation. That's what's going to attract the people. One, the redemption of the people, the redemption of Jerusalem. Did you see what they're doing over there now? Folly. And a lot of people, we run there because we say, this is our land, this is our home. But then we come up against all the things that we hear what they're doing to us, throwing us in prison, giving us diseases, locking, all of those things. We can't go claim that, like when the Creator has our back and we claim this. That's the difference. When we go there now, we say we Israel, it's like, oh yeah, okay, like everybody's doing it. Everybody's claiming Israel, not just the black, Latino, West Indian. You got everybody out there claiming Israel, and then you got everybody out there doing anything in the Holy Land right now. That's what it's saying when it's desolate. It's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Because it's not getting treated and ran by the people that's supposed to be doing it, which is us. We're supposed to be the ones that's going to know to keep the Sabbath, right? The years when we're not going to plow and do agriculture, right? Because the first year the Most High is going to bless it, okay? Are they doing that over there now?
No.
They're not running it like that because they're not doing Torah.
And the Jubilee.
And the year of the Jubilee. This is what we as a people are going to bring back to the Holy Land in our righteous state. That's what the Most High is talking about. Because it's living. The land is living, right? They kicked us out. That was a condition. The condition was put on us by the land.
Yeah. But we kicked ourselves out.
Yeah, we kicked ourselves out, but that's the energy that we put out.
Exactly.
If the land wasn't living, if it wasn't part of it, then we could have been there rocking forever. The land is living. That's the Most High's place. You know what I'm saying? We were just renting. You know what I'm saying? We want to rent to own. We want to get that established in mind, rent to own. Because we want to take ownership, but we just can't be up in there any type of way.
No,
We ain't going to be up in the temple serving other gods and doing all these other things that we doing back then. And worshiping and all of these things. Okay, we saw when they built the steps out there, just violating all of the kings. And this is who the prophets talk to. They talk to the kings. It's the kings that's causing the people to go off. That's why we get the prophet come and talk to the king. Let's continue.
But thou shalt be called, my delight is in him, and our land espoused. For the Lord delighteth in thee, and our land shall be espoused. For as a young man espouses a virgin, so shall our sons espouse thee. And as the bridegroom rejoiceth over the bride, so shall thy God rejoice over thee. I have set watchmen upon our walls of Jerusalem. They shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that are the Lord's remember.
Why do you think all of the destruction and the bombs and all of the stuff go off over there? What the Most High letting us know?
They ain't the people.
They ain't the people. When it said there, I said, watchmen upon the walls of Jerusalem. They shall never hold their peace. Day nor night. Ain't gonna be no rest over there. So the Most High restore the people over there and restore the land how He wanted it to be. They ain't gonna get no peace. I don't care what people go over there and say they this, if they not the true people of the nation of Israel. And even if you're Israel, you go over there and it's not time to go there. You ain't gonna have no peace. We can't activate the Most High's plan before the time. Before its time. It's going to happen in His time, in the Most High's time.
In Yahweh's time.
Let's continue, bro.
Till he establish and he make Jerusalem a praise on earth. The Lord has sworn by his right arm, by his right hand, and by his arm of his strength. Surely I will no more give thy corn to be food for thine enemies, and strangers shall not drink thy wine, for which thou hast labored. But they that have guarded it shall eat it.
Okay.
Praise the Lord.
So that's what we want to do now. We over here in captivity. This is talking about people in a land of a free mind, of way of thinking, not captivity, where you work and you don't see the fruits of your own labor. This is what we're talking about here. Strangers. Hey, you look on your paycheck, fight this one, everybody getting a piece of your check, your money. You don't know these people. You don't know who these people are that get a cut before you do. That's what this is talking about. All the unjust gain that's going on in captivity. There will be no more when we follow the Torah and do what the Most High say do, so we can be restored back to the land. This is what the Most High wants. Us in the land, and the land being a beacon to the world of righteousness, of growth. Look at the food, look at the people. Everybody, I don't make it seem like everybody's happy, but we're happy because we have the Torah, we have the Most High in our midst. We're living to be old. We're getting to see our children grow old. These are the things that we want. These are the things that a lot of times here in captivity we deny. And we do more, quote unquote, fighting for that here than we are even able to do Torah. We over here fighting for what? Justice. And this is what the Torah portion here is telling us. That only true justice comes from the Creator. And only true justice is going to come from the Creator when we're doing Torah. And when we're truly doing Torah in our own land, where we make the decisions, where we counsel. Okay, we have to modernize things. So we're gonna have to come up with a council and come up with our leaders. We can't do that here in somebody else's land. All this is telling us to come together to basically be a people so we can be a people. And it's already established. We just need the Most High Yah on our side.
Or like a subculture, like you have America, that's the top culture, and what we trying to be Israelites is like a subculture of that. That's what you're saying? Like but like we can't fully keep Torah the way we really want to, because we're mixed up in their culture.
That's a fact. That's what this is what we're talking about. Deuteronomy, Nitzavim, stand up as a people. I plucked you out of Egypt. I took you out of Egypt. What was the whole point of us coming out of Egypt? What was the first things that the Most High told Father Moshe, that he told the Pharaoh?
He said, that my son, my firstborn.
Right? Let them go. So what?
So they can worship.
Okay, so that was the premise of us leaving out of Egypt. That was given to the head, the Hansu at the time. Right? The Pharaoh.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to, and the Most High said, I'm a heart in his heart. So even though the Most High used what's already in you, right? So he's saying, he's trying to come up with every condition. I already take them, but they got to come back. Or they, you know what I'm saying? No. He said, that's it. This is where I'm going to make myself known to my people.
To the nations.
And to the nation. That's right. Roundabout. So there's no, like, going back. No, you know, there's no wavering. And we see what happened when we, with the mixed multitude. Oh, let us go back to eat. All those people died off. Yep. Everybody with that mindset. Let us go back to Egypt for the garlics and the leeks and, okay? They died off. Because even in the same portion, Father Moshe tells us about the journey. He got the Most High carried us. And our clothes then get old on us. Okay?
40 years rocking the same clothes.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is the spirit that he's talking about. New Testament is just getting to the spirit. The Most High been telling us about him putting his spirit or a spirit on us. You put a spirit on Israel, right? The master builder. You put the spirit on the guys prophesying.
Yeah.
That's what the Most High does. He enhances. When he see you doing rocking to your potential, then he enhances. That's where that comes from. The Holy Spirit and all that they try to kick to us, giving us that Christian talk.
Yeah, but you cannot bring that world into this.
You can't.
No.
You can't act like how they act into this. Because in that world, it is adultery. And there's people will be saying things that is not right. Otherwise, you don't lie to your brother. You don't cheat your brother. You don't go with your brother's wife. You don't go to you don't go on somebody's land and take something yours.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I'm dealing with that.
And see, in doing that and following Torah and following the laws, this is what sustains our lives. So when we're doing it in captivity, we see benefits.
Yeah.
So imagine doing it where we're supposed to be doing it.
True. But like the Torah says, you're supposed to be like a peculiar people.
Right.
A set apart people.
Right.
And that's what the Lords do. They set us apart from different nations, from different trends, how people rock, you know what I mean? We dance to a different drum. The drum of the creator, Yah.
That's right. That's right. Hallelujah on that.
Yeah.
Because like you were saying about America being, that's what it is. You could be any type of subculture in America. They don't care as long as they get their money.
Wow.
You could be anything over there. You know what I'm saying? You can rock and do whatever you want. Just pay that bread. You know what I'm saying? That's what they know. What culture? What culture? The Most High trying to put you in the hands of what? A strange people, right? A no people.
I know.
So what culture does a no people have? They have nothing.
Yeah,
Not only that, he said that you think that you won't provoke me to jealousy.
Right.
I'm gonna provoke you to jealousy for the people that it's not.
That's right. So we're not just jealous because of the counterparts that we have that the Most High put in us with the European Jews and all that, how they guard the Torah. We jealous that we look at the buffoonery that's going on with the president. And we all sit and be like, well, I can do the job of how he doing it.
Yeah.
Right? So we said it that way with Bush Jr. We saying that one now with Trump. Like, I'm sure, our elders said it with other presidents. You know what I'm saying?
Said it with the
Like
that we had.
yeah, like we could do the job.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that Trump is not for us. I'm feeling nobody said nobody.
But that's the point. That's the point right there.
For us.
That's
Only
it.
the house.
Only the creators for us. And that's the point he trying to get us to see. Even back when the prophet was during Saul's time. Samuel, right? Yeah, Samuel. He was like, oh no, like he said, yeah, like they want a king, like, and he's like feeling bad for the creator. Creator's like, no, it's not you that they do, it's me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's so. Ever since then, the creator's gonna show us time and time again what kings do, what human beings do. They err, they evil, yeah. Time and time again. So now it's just our time to see it again.
It's like a joke almost.
And that's for all of the people in the world who don't look to the Most High as their salvation.
Right.
And look to America or to any other nation for that fact.
No, I think it's like a joke, like the Most High just started laughing. Oh, you want a king,
right?
Right?
Yeah.
I can be a king. He might not be righteous. You know what I mean? But I can be something.
And even in that, he still said, all right, this is what the king has to do. They gotta, right? They gotta read the law, they gotta recite the law, everything. And for someone that's like a teacher telling you, when you mess up in school, write on the board 500 times. Like, I will not get out my seat. Like, if that's all you doing, you ain't got time to do nothing else.
And also, one of the change rules was, they should have an increase of like forces or women.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you have too much of that,
this is what the Most High will. Look, and so you would think,
like a humbleness.
you would think with all of those things in place that we wouldn't have bad kings. But even in this time, we have bad kings. That's why the prophet is here now, Prophet Isaiah, right? Because they wasn't doing what they were supposed to do.
Nitzavim.
Yeah, to stand, right? Because in Deuteronomy, this is what Father Moshe said, stand and look before the people to look, stand. And it said, for those who stand here this day, and for those who's not here, which will be us. So we're accounted for. That's why until we accept, like you were saying, we're gonna keep bumping our head. We're gonna keep bumping our head.
That's why the king said, we gotta confess and for our sins of ourselves and our ancestors.
Right, that's what I was saying earlier. We gotta do for our fathers. That's right.
So nothing is left on the comment. That way now when we fix up, it's like we see those errors. We know now not to do those errors.
That's right.
Those errors is there for us to learn from. Also, all the errors that our forefathers made is for us to learn from, so that we don't do them. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. Let's read some more. We're gonna close it out. We're gonna be very first. We're gonna go through this again.
I told you we're going to Deuteronomy.
No, we're gonna Shabbat. We're gonna have to. Yeah. But don't just start going to chime in.
To me, I just correlate with it now, more so than ever. I love Prince Nakai and Breakdown, and that's for the Israelites who know themselves, the people that's wavering, and the people that's on the fence and don't really know that this is you and you don't know how you connect. I feel like verse 62, if that didn't open your eyes to who you are. I don't know what, for example, he said,
Read it.
and let me see, verse 2, he said, all the nations shall see thy triumph, and the kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name. Well, we can go over some of the names they call us. Negro, African American, Latino, and that's PG, because we on camera. I ain't gonna say some of the other stuff they call us, but the Most High ain't give us that name. And that name ain't come out the Most High mouth.
Okay, that's the country, you're right, because then the Most High say, y'all gonna be a byword out there. So this is how we
To
know,
the
like,
entire world.
he said that before this.
Yeah, byword.
And now we can see that it all came true, like the brother's saying. Who's any other people that get called out their name more than us?
They boy.
All of the names that they call us.
A byword.
A byword, right?
That's what we're all that nigga and all this other stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Banana.
So that was a good point, bro. Right, bro.
Then to even go further into it, it says a new name. The world don't acknowledge us as Israel. The world don't call us Israelites. They call us every and anything else. Every other nation is characterized by the landmass that them people originate from. And we're the only people that the entire world knows where we come from. And they gonna pull you the slave ports when they drop you off. And they gonna hope you assimilate to the culture.
They gotta give brother for them out there that you said wavering or may not understand.
Nah, this is 62 in my opinion at least. This is for the brothers and the sisters who waver on the fence. Who I feel like you might not understand this way of life. You don't know if this way of life is calling you. You don't know if this is your people right here. This is us. If you ever had it to have your eyes open, to me at least, because we ain't been called by the new world. We been called by the same bywords we've been called by for the last 100 years. On top of that, it said, "Thou shalt no more be turned forsaken."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about y'all, but I know a lot of our brothers and sisters out here in these streets going through situations. They don't feel the Most High is with them. They question life. They look at it like, if God is with me, then I'm God chosen people. Why I'm going through what I'm going through? Why I gotta go through what I go through to make ends meet? Why I gotta be in fear sending my kids to school every day and hoping one time don't kill them or one of their brothers and sisters don't kill them? That's what people who feel they're forsaken by God go through. Another thing, neither shall thy land anymore be desolate. The land is called desolate because of no people is there.
That's right.
God, the Most High, ain't acknowledging them. And if nobody is dead, technically it's desolate. Another thing to go even further. We're gonna jump to Isaiah 2, verse 4. Because if anybody wasn't aware of how this correlates and how this speaks on us, it sheds light on who we are. I'm gonna delve a little farther. Isaiah 2, verse 4, it says, "In the word of the Lord from Jerusalem," we started right before verse 4. "And he shall judge between the nations, and he shall decide for many peoples, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore." I don't even watch TV, and I know that that's not going on. People are getting killed every single day.
Yeah.
Then the people over there jacking that they us, they not faring too much better than us, and we dealing without him. The other nations over there know that they not who they are.
That's right.
They know that they jacking a nation that they really not. And they ain't gonna never have peace over there.
That's the watchman part.
So when it said in verse 6,
Right.
I said, "Watchmen upon our walls of Jerusalem, and they shall never hold their peace."
Right.
Those people are never gonna be good over there.
That's right.
They're not God's people. To even go even further, it said in verse 8, "The Lord has sworn by his right hand and by the arm of his strength. Surely I will no more give thy corn to be food for thine enemies.
No.
And strangers shall not drink thy wine, for which thou hast labored. And they that have gotten it shall eat it and praise the Lord. And they that have gathered it shall drink it." If that's not our people, I don't know what is. We built this nation. We built up the islands in the Caribbean. We built up everywhere they dropped us. We don't got nothing to show for them. We don't got a pocket pissing. We don't own the land that we got. We struggling. We doing worse than people who they come there 100 years after us. They set up shop with 2 family members. They living the American dream. And they looking at us like, "Yo, y'all lazy, y'all don't do nothing." But we put in the work and we made the wine and we never got to drink it.
That's right.
We gardened the corn and we never got to eat it. And if you don't think that relates to us, you might want to open your eyes.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Good that,
Right. He had nothing to say.
I was trying to wait.
Like, boy. But this is how it is, man. Just like he was saying, you know what I mean? Bring it from the aspect of the nation of Israel. But he's right. There's so many of us that's out in the outside world that is Israel. That's not woke. And every day talk to themselves like how he was saying. If there was a God or questioning. Right. And we know that, and I'm gonna say this again because that was profound. When Father Abraham heard the voice, it said, just him accepting it was counted as righteousness. Right. So that's what a lot of our brothers and sisters that's out there on the fence, or if you're looking, that's the part that you haven't gotten over yet, the acceptance. Just because we may have accepted it, didn't mean that we're still not going to go through certain struggles. It actually means now we know why we're going through the struggle. But it also knows, like the brother said, now we know what not to do. And that's the part that a lot of them go through out there in the world. Because they don't understand to accept the non-tangible, right? So they never accept it. So it's never, that part of their righteousness in their life can never count. So their day-to-day living is of an American, right? So in America, it's just do whatever. Like,
Doggy,
you know what I'm saying? So some people feel like, well, as long as I ain't kill nobody, like, I'm okay. It's okay for me to scam people. I ain't kill nobody. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's really
So that righteousness in you can never be counted because you still, even as a scammer, you're like, well, there's no God. Like, I gotta eat. You understand what I'm saying? While I'm broke. If you scamming, that's because you broke and you like feel you should have more than what you're giving now, right?
What you're getting.
Right.
You got people that's out there that's not born in this way of life. And also they're not taught. It's Christians, but they're not. They talk about this JC thing. And after they go in and they say, hallelujah, and they could come back out here and joke everybody what?
Low toll.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But if you grow up in like country, you know what I'm saying? Good. And you got people doing what everything you say I think is right.
Your own imagination.
On imagination.
That's how our forefathers was living. You know, everybody's doing it in your own how they feel.
Right.
How they feel. So
It's constantly in state.
also I like, okay, if most of us, when you mess with somebody else's wife, or somebody, you rob someone, okay, you understand? Okay, now, you gonna be able to kill that dude. You gonna be able to kill him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's house. Nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, but anything is thy neighbor.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
that's law.
That's law.
If
If you're not being taught that, that's why you way things where it is.
That's right. And that is the problem because we know another thing that was counted for Father Abraham said he said he was gonna command his house.
Right.
He commanded his house. We throwing around the word being taught. Being taught is one thing, being commanded. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do this. And then they obeyed. This soldiers went and got circumcised. They obeyed. So that shows us that there's no excuse, right? We show that the king, we get kings from young, King Josiah, that we shown in that example, even old men. That's under the direction of a man who they know as God-fearing, proliferating. Okay, because you're not going to serve someone for naught. So they knew they was in good hands. That's like when you get on a job, you live life right, and you get that job that you want, you say that Fortune 500 job, and you see all of the benefits and your 401k, and your packages, and your pension. That makes you say, all right. That's what makes you narrow down your choices. You get to live life that way. Where you just there filling out after hoping the job put you back, right? But the point is, that's the same way. For us as a people. We get to activate that.
Yeah. If we start living like that, you don't bring what you have left out there. You don't bring that here. You know what I'm saying? You don't mess with the wives or usury. Okay. Something ain't so you give it back. I'm saying you don't go on nowhere and talk about hey, no man come up in your household and that's you got your wife and kids and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Them come out in your household. They're gonna tell you what in your house. No, that's no good. That's no good. That's not doing law.
Exactly. And really, that's what makes us different than any other nation of people, the Torah.
I still gotta keep that out there.
Yeah, that's important because that's what's this is what causes us to be set apart. So where we could be looked at, like the bro was reading, when we're restored as a people. That's what's gonna make us different than the people that's there in the land now.
Right.
We're doing Torah. We're actually doing Torah, right?
You know what I mean?
And we're the people that the Creator want to be doing the Torah there. Because right now, everybody's going over there claiming they're doing Torah. They're claiming they're claiming.
Yeah, but they're not really doing Torah. They're doing identity checks. They scam it. I mean, it's a business for them. Just like how they look at the marriage thing as a business, because like what you was talking about with the word Beulah, that's what the Creator called us.
Yeah.
Beulah means we married to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so he's taking these bywords away from us and giving us back our real title. So he said, Hexabah, my delight is in her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those is our titles. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to get back to. Even when he said to us, he call your brother Amin. Call your sister Mukama, lovingly accepted. These are the things we need to get back into. Calling Yah our Ish and learning how to be a Ish.
That's right.
To our wives from our Creator.
That's
who's
right.
showing us how to be an Ish.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And learning from him how to be a father. Learning from him also how to be a son. Because at the end of the day, you're learning it all.
We come say on camera, man.
We here, bro. You know what I mean?
But that's what the brother's saying is right, because when he's saying basically when we read here, what the Father's talking about us as a people, we already know that the Father always called us his bride.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And we his people.
Right.
We marry unto him. And that's the same way he feels about the land too.
Right.
And we are supposed to be all one. Us, the land, and the Creator, all one. Not that we're one with the Creator, but we're in that oneness where this is the satisfaction that he wants from us as a people. You understand? Right. So what you're saying is right. As husbands, learning how to be a husband. From what we knowing the best husband, the most high Ish. The best Ish, right? Because he takes care of us.
Yeah.
He wakes us up.
Yeah. He said, call him Ishi. He said, don't call me Bali. Don't call me my master. Don't call me Bali, because that's the word for master.
Okay.
He don't want us calling them by the Baal names, because the Baalims is what the other nations might be looking to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And anything could be their master. They be saying, all right, y'all is my master, but in their minds, they might be thinking something different.
Right.
So the Creator now gave us a set apart thing where we can't, there's nothing tangible. It's just do the law. That's the only way you're gonna actually be able to grasp it. So that's the differentiation that's going on also. That we're seeing the separation of what Yah has sanctified, because we can't sanctify ourselves.
Right.
It's Yah doing the sanctifying. He's separating us, and we watching him, the set apart one, separating us, who's also set apart ones.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what gypsy ones.
Come on out here.
Yeah, we have at the October, we may see us, we have the brothers there, and he definitely chiming in. You know, for our people that's online, we thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, you know, in reference to the Haftorah or the Torah, but mainly today dealing with the Haftorah, please feel free to write us or text in, and we'll bring it up. We'll talk about it, because this is just another portion throughout the week for us to come together and praise the Most High Yah. That's what we were created for. I was just having a conversation with people in the world, and I told them at the end of the day, that's just what we as people don't understand. We was created to praise the Most High God. That's right. For His glory. For His glory. And that's it. So when we're not doing that, we don't know. We're not serving our purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Then he told us, if you want to get to know me, he tells us what? Go through the Torah, like we were saying earlier. That's how the Creator's gonna know if you're real,
Right.
about wanting to know who He is. By picking up His book and doing His Torah, and doing what He said to do. Then He could judge the reins of your heart and say, okay, like He said with Job, notice thou my servant right there. You see my servant right there? He's studying that Torah, keeping them Shabbat. He's actually doing the Torah, doing the laws. It's one thing to know commandments. There's another thing to do. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. We want to do it. And a lot of us here a lot of us in the captivity here. And we can't say that the new thing was totally activated or activated at all. But we knew growing up from our parents, right? We knew right from wrong. We didn't know all the commandments as a kid, but you knew
that you ain't supposed to take.
Right. So you know what's on the inside of you.
Yeah.
Because then we have them unruly kids that, grew up with kids, they just ain't listen. That you gotta knock upside the head, but look at the small rod, not the child, right?
Yeah.
Or like the sons of Eli, right?
Yeah.
Not being checked, and the rain that havoc they rain down on the people so much that the Creator had to deal with them. They whole line.
Word.
Said there'll never be an old man in your house. Ever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how we back. So we know when you don't check things, right? But they didn't just start out like that.
They wasn't never checked.
They was never checked. That's the point. So this is what Torah did. It checks us. And a lot of people don't want to be checked out there. You can't tell me nothing, or But the Most High checks you anyway. Because when then you're laying in the hospital, or something happened, then you're crying out. Okay, and hey, there's nothing wrong with crying out. Things activate. But we don't want to be crying out because of calamity. We want to cry out to prevent calamity.
Okay.
We want to speak out. We want to cry out to give thanks and praise. That form of crying out.
Okay, when it comes to the church time, you kids. But we just like kids amongst the Most High.
That's right.
Because kids, okay, now, you see a kid acting all wild and he's supposed to say what he's supposed to be doing. You understand? What you do? You put that rod to that guy here, right?
That's right.
You understand? Hey, you don't spare him. Because my mom didn't spare me. My mom did not spare me. She said, hey, come out your face. You come out your face. You get smacked in the mouth. Or you get punched in the mouth, whoever is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's that you policing your son, your daughter. You police him where he don't go out there. You protecting him.
Manners. Manners.
Right? You protecting him. You don't go out. Hey, look, somebody out there, they're gonna check him.
All right.
Yeah, just like this part here. And we'll get ready to close it out. But in Isaiah 63, I'm going to start from 7. But it says, I will make mention of the mercies of the Lord and the praises of the Lord, according to all that the Lord has bestowed upon us, and the great goodness towards the house of Israel. So again, we're not just talking about one person. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the house of Israel. Okay? To make it plain. The whole house of Israel.
Right.
Right. Which he hath bestowed on them. Okay? Yeah. Notice what he said. On them. Not on him. On them. Mm-hmm. According to his compassion, the Most High. And according to the multitude of his mercy. And what he said? For he said, surely they are my people, the children that will not deal falsely. So he was their savior. And I'll close with that. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Right. So So we just want to understand that we do belong to the Most High. We are His people. And Him giving us the Torah means we're not supposed to deal falsely with Him and with each other.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Right. Once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in with us online. We want to thank the Most High God for this opportunity. The Most High God, give all praises to Him.
Yes.
God of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. Once again, we want to give acknowledgement to Hanasi, Zipporah Baines, the Boom leader and founder, the Shema Yisrael here for this platform. We want to also acknowledge second in command here at Shema Yisrael, Prince Nat Bain, Hanasi, Bain, Zipporah. Once again, may I ask my brother, your dark, can you just be yourself in the prayer, close it out for us?
Hallelujah.
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 Yeah.
Bless the mighty name of Yah, our Father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Yaakov. Blessed be when we gather together, as you said, gather together, ye nation undivided. And that's what we're going to do constantly. We're going to gather together. We know we're that undesired one. We're the ones they call the byword. The coconuts, the bananas, you know what I mean? The porch monkeys, all kind of different names they call us. But Yah is showing us that that's not what He's calling us. So if the Creator never called us these names, we ain't gonna take on to these names. He called us Beulah, He called us Hector, He called us Ukama, He called us Amin. I mean my people. When He wasn't calling, at first He was calling us Lo, Ukama, Lo Amin, not my people. Not my lovingly accepted ones. Now we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back, Yah. We're bringing it back. Torah to you, Yah, for all things and everything. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Eka, Ve'ata, Yahuwah Eka, Eka, Levaka, Ubika, Nafeshka, Ubika, Modelika, Hero of Israel, Yah is our power, Yah only. Love Yah with all our heart, all our soul, and all our might. Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
There you go. There you go.